Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Platt's Picks Pod. I'm your host, Smitty. With me, as always, you know who it is. It's Platt's Picks. Ryan, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I've been seeing a lot more green than red recently.
There we go.
The motto of this show is we love seeing green and we hate seeing red. So I can't complain. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. A lot of good things going on. Rocking around the 412. We just surpassed $6,000 raised for the year.
I saw that, and you're getting an article.
Yeah. There's going to be an article in the Beaver County Times. If you guys are familiar with the area, that's obviously one of the big newspapers of the area. And yeah, next week there's going to be an article about the mission and stuff in there. Shout out to Josh Carney, friend, who was also with the Beaver County Times. He's putting together an article for us, really putting a spotlight on what we got going on. So that's great. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that's donated. A lot of the stuff is also, if you guys ever see, like, there's a bunch of hectic stuff going. I mean, over this shoulder, you can see there's a table with stuff set up on it. Like, my basement at some point in the very near future, when you're watching the Platt's Picks Pod, is just going to be boxes behind me. But I love it. Best time of year, favorite time of year. Let's jump into this. Let's start out with our NHL plays. I actually have one pretty big parlay here for the NHL. So we're going, this is just straight money line picks. Caps, Jets, Bruins, Avs, and Oilers all to win at plus 606 odds. They are all the favorites. When you put all five together, you still get obviously that plus money at 606. I like that. And then I'm putting together, I've been doing, as opposed to like goal scoring, just shots on goal with players.
My go-to. I love it.
I know. I keep hitting it. I know, like, early in the year, Jack Hughes was the guy. For me recently, Jake Denzel has been the guy. No less than 3 shots on goal in every game that he's played with Sidney Crosby. His number has stayed at 2.5. He actually had 8 shots on goal their last game against Winnipeg. So I like him over 2.5 shots, Huberdeau over 2.5 shots, and then David Pastrnak over 3.5 shots. You parlay all 3 of those together, and that's plus 400 odds. So
I like that.
Yeah, really good stuff there. So those are my picks in the NHL. I know you said you had a few as well.
Yeah, I have the Capitals. Well, I just have it money line because I'm gonna parlay something in a little bit, but I'm adding them in it. Then another one. This is plus 125. The Oilers puck line.
They got the Coyotes. Huh?
Yeah, they got the Coyotes. I mean, if you're familiar with this show.
Anybody gets the Coyotes puck line. Yeah.
Anybody gets the Coyotes puck line, and it's plus money. I know they're on a back-to-back, but they kind of stunk last night against the Stars.
It's also Conor McDavid, last game. He went the first 17 games of the season with a point. That broke last night.
Okay, so he's scoring 2 goals tonight then.
Yeah, I was just saying, good bet to start a new streak tonight. Him and Leon Draisaitl are just ridiculous. Right? Have you seen, like, the betting odds for NHL MVP? Like, a dozen games into the season, even it was already like they were both pretty short odds. Everybody else was like 1,000 at best. Like,
it's
ridiculous.
They're off to a fantastic start. I just hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
And then one more, I did have. I don't know if you can see it on action. Let me just go to FanDuel real quick because it's a 60-minute line. I don't know if you do 60-minute lines.
I've seen you do them. I see a lot of people do them. I don't know that I ever have myself, though.
It's just it sucks if it goes to overtime and they win, and then you don't win anything.
Right.
But this is 3-way. It's going to be minus 145. I'm doing Florida Panthers 60-minute line.
Okay.
Against the Flyers. Flyers suck. I hate Philly, so. But I actually think the Flyers are doing actually pretty decent this year. But.
Yeah, it's all about their goaltender for me, Carter Hart. He was my pick to win the Vezina last year, and I thought Philly was going to be really good. He stunk, so the team stunk. So it's really all about him.
I remember that,
shout out to Kevin Hayes, who just recently came back, scored a goal in like his second game back. His brother, Jimmy, passed away, so he was away from the team for a little bit. He comes back immediately as a contributor to the team. So I find myself it's hard to root against him, but obviously I have to root against the Flyers. Nick is in here. He said, you know what I'm going to ask. I don't know. Ryan was scrambling to get in here, so I don't even know if he has a drink with him right now.
Actually, it's Dr. Pepper today.
Okay.
So
all right.
I grabbed
also, Marcus and Cobra Gaming in here as well. Appreciate you guys being in here. That was it for NHL picks, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so moving on to let's go to college basketball first because I know we only have a couple in there. Shout out to that boy, Joe Camo. I'm going Seton Hall
There we
cover
go.
-12 against Cal. I'm also going Baylor -12 covering against Arizona State. Like both those picks, obviously, double-digit spreads are kind of tough. I know I got burned by Michigan on a double-digit spread to kick off the college basketball season, but I like both these plays here.
I do as well. We're actually on the same one. I have Baylor -12. Kind of scares me a little bit just because the double digit, but they should cover that. Then my next one is Vanderbilt -2.5 against Pitt. Pitt's just obviously they're just not a good team, but they did get Burton back, who is their main transfer. He's a shooter, so they added that scoring. But Vandy has Scottie Pippen Jr. He was one of the favorites to win SEC Player of the Year, and he's been looking good. The one game I watched this year, he dropped 30 points in the second half.
So don't watch tonight.
So he can score. I'm a little shocked that the line is this low.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm taking Vandy -2.5.
I mean, what's the rest of the team like though? Is this like a Trae Young in Oklahoma situation?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, if he's off, Pitt could sneak out a win. They are 1-0 as underdogs. So, Then my last one is Memphis -3 against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's undefeated, but Memphis is one of the best teams in college basketball. They'll probably be in it towards the end. They had a great recruiting class. They got Amani Bates, who's a terrific scorer. They got the number one center in Jalen Duran too. So
is Memphis
this
back?
is going to be. They could be back.
I feel like they haven't been like.
They haven't been relevant
on a national level since like Derrick Rose.
Yeah, since D Rose. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they're ranked number 9. So this should be a really good game that I'm excited to watch. I think it starts late though. Yeah, it starts at 9:30. So
okay, let's stick with the basketball theme then. We'll go to the NBA. I did a couple player props here as well as just one straight gameplay. So we'll start there. I got Washington -3.5 over New Orleans. I think they're one of the worst teams in basketball. They are one of the worst teams in basketball. I don't think that. So I like Washington to cover 3.5. My player props, I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns over 20.5 points. They are playing the Heat. He is going to match up against Bam. However, when playing against him, he's averaging 23.5 points per game. And he's over this number, over 20.5 in 12 of the 17 games the Timberwolves have played this year. So I like that number. Also, I've been on this guy's train. I know he was off to a rough start to his rookie year after missing a handful of games to start it. Cade Cunningham, I've been hitting props for him pretty much every single night. What I'm doing tonight, over 4.5 assists because he's averaging over 7 in the last 5.
Okay. Interesting. I actually didn't even look at NBA today, to be honest. There's so much college basketball. There's a big hockey slate. If I would touch anything, I don't know. I kind of like the Timberwolves.
Hey, the Knicks don't play, right? So we do.
No, so there's no double. But I kind of like the Timberwolves right now. The Heat on a back-to-back. They struggled against the Pistons yesterday, even though they came back and won. I think this is a good spot where
Timberwolves actually
Towns dominates. Yeah, probably because it's on a back-to-back. And another thing that I would be careful if you like big spreads. I know the Bulls are favored by 10.5 against Houston. Houston has 1 win on the year. They are 1-16. This could be a game where I don't think Houston wins, but they'll probably keep it close for the majority of the game. Maybe, this is one of the situations where everyone's going to be on the Bulls. So I would just be careful.
Another big one. The Jazz are favored by 14 over the Thunder.
Yeah. Well, Shea's out, so
yeah.
Still. I hate double-digit spreads.
Yeah.
I just hate it. But, yeah. And Milwaukee's favored by 15.5 against Detroit.
Oh, I missed that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know about that.
Yeah. That's a little iffy to me.
Cade Cunningham popping off tonight. All right. This is going to be fun because just talking before this, I know that we are on one of the same picks for a Thanksgiving game, switching to the NFL here. But we will get to that in a second because I have just one other play for tomorrow. I'm going Dallas and Vegas under 51.5. I just think on a short week, Dallas going to be missing Amari Cooper. Could have CeeDee Lamb back. I know he's already passed several of the loops that he needs to get through in order to return from the concussion protocol. But Vegas is on the downswing. They've lost 3 in a row. Dallas's defense isn't bad. They're able to keep teams in check. I mean, even Kansas City looked like their offense was going to break out against Vegas, and then they come back against Dallas and really do nothing offensively. Actually win that game with their defense, which I didn't think I'd say about the Chiefs in 2021. So I don't like this game to get over. I mean, 51.5 seems like a pretty high total, considering what Dallas is going to be missing on offense and what Vegas has been doing on offense recently. So I got under 51.5 there. I can't believe I'm doing this. Eagles -3.5 against the Giants. I mean, the Eagles look like a totally different team than what I thought they were the last few weeks.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts. I am a huge Jalen Hurts doubter. I mean, he's making me eat crow the last couple of weeks. Even if it is like not necessarily it's just a pocket passer, even if he can get away with having a similar play style to a Lamar Jackson, can succeed that way. What do Philly fans care how he's going to get that team? To the promise. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl or anything like that, but right now he's playing really good football. They're finally starting to run the football. They're finding an identity, which is the biggest thing for me on offense. And defensively, they're just getting a ton of takeaways right now. Darius Slay has just been ridiculous. I think he has turnovers in 3 straight games. So hey, they're balling right now in Philly after not trading Fletcher Cox to Pittsburgh. So I like Philly to cover this 3.5 against a really bad Giants team, in my opinion. And then lastly, my only straight play that I have left here is going to be the Chargers -2.5 against the Broncos. For me, it's all about the Chargers defense. We know what their offense can do. We saw it firsthand against Pittsburgh. Granted, that was a very depleted defense on the other side of the football for Pittsburgh. The Broncos are going to be able to put out a better defensive unit than that. I just don't think the Broncos can score enough points to keep up in this game with the Chargers. So that's my last straight play. I'll let you go, and then I'll get to my upset stuff.
Okay, so I'll wait on one of them because we're on the same side on that one. The next one is I have the under 45.5 in the Saints and Bills game. I mean, Saints still, there's no Kamara. Like, what are they even doing on offense? Thanks, kid. They just aren't. There's no Kamara again. So in the Bills, they've looked bad. They haven't been looking themselves. Another one I have is now. I was torn on this, but I'm gonna side the other way, even though I don't think I should. I'm going Tampa Bay -3 against the Colts.
Okay.
I know I was on the other Colts +7 last week, smacked. I didn't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But this is going to be not a test for the Colts, but I think Tampa Bay is one of the best against the run, and that's Jonathan Taylor has been his back hurts because he's been carrying me in fantasy. Like it is insane how much he's carried me. And then the last NFL play I have Baltimore -3.5 against Cleveland. Cleveland, they're just not a good football team. Baker
you would
sucks.
assume Lamar's back. Yeah.
If Lamar's back, I'm still going to ride with the 3.5. Baker's playing hurt, terrible. What do I gotta say? That's it. Their offense really sucks. Like he has all those weapons, and that offense is so mediocre.
Yeah.
If I was them, I would just run the ball every play.
Honestly, yeah.
That's what it's built for.
I wanted to say though, with that Colts Tampa game, I think a big part of that is does Tampa get Vita Vea back?
Yeah,
because they are really good against the run, but he's a massive part of that. He wasn't able to play last week.
I would not be shocked though. Like if Vita Vea's out, the Colts could win that. They have been playing amazing lately.
Yeah, I think that he is a huge piece for that defense. Kind of goes under the radar because he's not. He has like 4.5, 6.5 somewhere in. Sacks. Doesn't create a ton of sacks, but I mean, what he does in the middle of that defense clogs it up. He's an important player for them.
Just imagine what the Colts would be right now if they didn't blow that lead to Baltimore. Because they're what now, 5-5?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I still think though, with them trending the way that they are and the way that I think Tennessee's going to go, I think the Colts end up winning that division.
Yeah,
Tennessee lost its identity.
Tennessee just don't look like anything without Derrick Henry.
No. I mean, because Ryan Tannehill operates best as a play action guy. If
Yeah.
there's not really that same threat to run with Derrick Henry and teams aren't stacking the box as much, Tannehill's not as effective.
Nope.
And until he shows that he can be, I don't like the Titans going forward. So yeah, my upset parlay. I know you're on one of these games as well. I think the Lions get their first win tomorrow over the Bears.
I do too.
It's not going to be Justin Fields. Not that Justin Fields has been great anyway. We're going to see Andy Dalton, so Detroit has been able to prepare for that. Unlike the Ravens, who Andy Dalton came in and actually played okay against, threw a couple touchdown passes. Granted, one of them he threw literally just to his right side, and Mooney took the rest of the way. But anyway, Dalton looked pretty good in that game. But I got the Lions winning this one. I like the Jets over the Texans. I know that the Texans are favored in this game for the first time this year, obviously coming off that win versus Tennessee. The Jets are getting Zach Wilson back. And I just think that the Texans are a worse football team. And I'm surprised that they're favored, but I understand it based off the result that they just got over Tennessee. And then this one, Vikings coming off a win against Green Bay are somehow the underdogs to the 49ers. And I do not agree with that. So I got the Vikings beating the 49ers. And those three games are plus 1,222 odds. So I'm just putting $10 on it.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised to see the Vikings were underdogs. It really made no sense. They've been playing really good football too.
Hey, listen though, we said the same thing about Oregon last week.
Yeah, dude, they stink, dude.
So,
oh my God, they suck.
So I guess we can't act like we're all up in arms about it because there's probably a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So getting to college football, I got a couple straight plays. Of course, my upset parlay and then my super upset. I think the same Via being out, the Bucs are still going to walk over the Colts. Or since Via being out, the Bucs are still going to walk over the Colts. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Colts. We'll see because the Bucs are not nearly as good against the pass as they are against the run. If Carson Wentz has to win that game, say they are shutting Jonathan Taylor down, and Carson Wentz has to win that game, I probably agree with that take. I just think that Jonathan Taylor's gotten to the point now where I really don't care how good a defense. Buffalo's really good against the run, and look what just happened.
Yeah. 5.
So
yeah, he went off.
I do think the Bucs win, but I don't know that it's a walk over. I don't know if I agree with that part. All right, so college football, Arkansas and Missouri, I got them going over 62.5. That's my first play. I like Texas A&M to cover 6 against LSU as well. So LSU had less than 100 yards on the ground against Louisiana Monroe. They had 92 rushing yards against Louisiana Monroe. A&M is really good in the red zone. They actually are allowing the third fewest. What is it? Dang it. See, this is when research doesn't pay off. They've allowed the third fewest red zone attempts to get into the end zone.
Okay.
In the entire country. So I like them to cover 6 against LSU. Of course, my upset parlay, I'm going UNC over NC State. I'm going Michigan State, who are underdogs, over Penn State. I understand why Michigan State's underdogs after watching them play against Ohio State. I still like them to beat Penn State. And Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. Those three are plus 1,417 odds.
Okay.
And then, of course, lastly, the super upset, I'm going North Texas over UTSA. UTSA is ranked 21st in the country. However, North Texas has covered the spread in their last 5 games, and they need to win this game in order to be bowl eligible.
That would be UTSA's first loss, right?
Yeah.
They're still undefeated. Okay. Let's see. I love this college slate. Like, I have so many plays. So, the first one is a dog. I like Ole Miss plus 110.
See, I'm glad you're picking Ole Miss. I feel like I do every week, and then they lose, and I feel like
I've picked them a couple times this year. Granted, it was teasers, but I just love Matt Corral, man. Like, even though he's like banged up a little bit still, I'm just gonna take him as a dog. I'm taking the over 52.5 in the Kansas State and Texas game. Texas don't play defense anyway, and I know they're missing their top running back, I believe. I think he's out. I still expect to see a lot of scoring in there. This one, I have Cincinnati minus 14. we said last week they're facing East Carolina. They just have to keep winning by big margins. I know they're already. I think they're fourth in the playoff rankings. I believe now.
Yeah, they're in now. Yep.
They kind of just got to keep doing it. We said last week that they had to win big, and they won big. So
yeah.
Hopefully that
I
just
liked
continues.
SMU to cover that 10.5. The way Cincinnati had been playing, I mean, they were winning obviously, but they weren't really impressive. They weren't putting together that playoff resume. They needed like another signature win along with that Notre Dame victory. And I think the way that they beat up on SMU clearly was at least good enough to get them to number 4 right now. So
yeah, you're gonna like this next play. Don't know if you'll agree. Ohio State -7.5.
Someone actually just asked us thoughts on the Michigan versus OSU game.
There we go.
Michigan State. Listen, I'm sorry, Michigan State. Michigan, really good on defense. That's what they do. Don't love the offense. I don't know that there's anybody in the country that is covering Ohio State's receivers. Even if you lock down one of them, okay, even if you lock down 2 of them, there is nobody in the country that is 3 deep at corner enough to stop Ohio State's wide receivers. It's actually kind of incredible to me that none of them are up for the Biletnikoff, but I'm not upset about it. It should be Jordan Addison.
Yeah, and just like you said, the Ohio State's offense has been incredible. You remember at the beginning of the year, we were all like, I don't think they're going to cover against Akron.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's Stroud was playing god awful. Like we knew what the receivers were. You know,
it was
Olave,
against
Garrett
Oregon.
Wilson.
He couldn't do anything against Oregon.
And they got Smith and Jigba coming back next year with him too. He's going to be a stud next year, like when he's literally the focal point of that offense. But right now, man, with Stroud going the way that he is, Trayvon Henderson, who we haven't really talked about, is the running back, and he's even up there and not really in legitimate Heisman conversation, but hey, he's on like the betting odds slip.
Yeah.
You know, and then the receivers, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, they're unreal. And I don't care how good Michigan is on defense. They're not going to be able to shut down every aspect of that offense.
Even if they shut them down a little bit, are they going to be able to even score? Like because to beat Ohio State, you're just going to have to score too, because they're going to score. It's just when, you know.
That's the thing. Do you think that they can hold them under 30? Because I don't, and there's no way.
I don't either. I mean, everyone thought like the articles I was reading last week, they were like, "Oh, Michigan State's going to keep this close with Ohio State," and what? But he had like 5 touchdowns in the first half. Like that was crazy.
So Michigan. Let's talk about this defense though. They are 37th in the country in yards allowed, 29th in passing yards allowed, 67th on the ground. They're allowing 16.3 points per game and giving up just 31% third down percentage. So they are really good on the defensive side of the football. Offensively, they are scoring 36.9 points per game, which is 15th in the country. Ohio State is scoring 47.2, which is first in the country. First in total yards, 570 yards a game of offense.
That's crazy.
362 through the air and 198 rushing.
Yeah. So
And they're 7th in the country. They're converting third downs 54% of the time.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I kind of hope it's like, from my money wise, I hope it's not close, but it would be nice to see Ohio State in a close game. But I just don't see it happening.
Like I said, even if it is a game where they have to run the football and you are able to minimize those receivers, it's like, okay, well, Trayvon Henderson.
Yeah, isn't he averaging like 5 yards a carry or something crazy like that?
I can tell you right now because I'm on it.
I know it's some type of crazy number.
He's averaging 7.3 yards a carry.
Jesus, I wasn't even close. Okay. Yeah, well, that's even better.
Yeah, he has 150 attempts for 1,098 yards, averaging 99.8 yards a game. 14 touchdowns. And he's not even really like talked about that much because of the receivers.
Yeah. So moving on, I actually have just 2 more. Taking Oregon State +7 against Oregon. I don't even know why I did the money line last week. I mean, that's just on me. Oregon has looked terrible. Like they have, like, even when they were winning games, it wasn't pretty. Like the spread was like 21, and they ended up winning by 5. They're just terrible. And then my last one, Shout out to Hank. Over 58.5. Pitt, Syracuse. Pitt has moved the ball on everybody that they have played, even in their 2 terrible losses. Pickett has like 12 touchdowns in 2 games in both their losses. This is the last game I don't know who they're going to play in the ACC title game. I hope it's Wake Forest. I do not want to see Clemson again. But that is my last college play.
There it is. We got through everything pretty quick, which is good because
the Pens play at 7.
Pens play at 7. You guys got time to relax, grab something to eat. I know Ryan literally sprinted home.
Yeah, I just got over from work. So,
but yeah, really good episode. If you guys want to get in on the Discord where we put our picks as well, maybe some stuff that we don't talk about on here, because we either decide that we're going to play it later than when we're on here, or it happens later in the week. For example, we can't really talk about prop bets for Sunday or anything like that. We might get new information as far as injuries, so stuff is always changing. So that's why it's best to also be in the Discord. Reach out to one of us if you want in. Our Twitter handles are literally on the screen right now, so you guys know where to find us. Other than that, hey, big shout out to Keats Barbershop, the sponsor, everything that they got going on. He's doing a Christmas mission right now. So reach out to me and I can put you in touch with Christian. Raising money for a family in the area. It's a very tough situation. Everybody needs help at Christmas. Obviously, doing what we are with Rocking Around the 412 can definitely relate to what they got going on there. Again, shout out to everybody. We just surpassed $6,000 raised for the 2021 mission version of Rocking Around the 412. It's incredible. Shout out again to Josh Carney for writing the article.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it.
Times. Yeah, it comes out. He said it should be like next Tuesday, I believe, that it should be out. So
okay.
Excited for that. Can't thank you guys enough for being part of it. If you want to be a part of it, the pinned tweet on our Twitter at Around the 412 will take you right to the GoFundMe where you can read the mission, donate right there, obviously. And at the very least, please share it because you don't know how many eyes and ears or whose eyes or ears you can get on that just by a simple share. Other than that, Ryan, let's see some green this week.
Yeah, let's hope for a sweep. We haven't had a sweep in a couple weeks.
No.
There's always that one team. There's always that one team.
My parlays, man, it's ridiculous. I keep thinking to myself, like, should I even try to do these parlays anymore? Just play them as straight bets because I would.
That's what I've been doing lately.
Yeah,
like I do.
Or should I do both? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like I think I do. I do one parlay a weekend, really, and the rest is just straight.
Yeah. Man, okay. Well, we're going to get out of here. We can't thank you guys enough for watching. Again, reach out to us if you want to get in the Discord. But other than that, let's see some green this week. No red. We wish you the best of luck. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy the holidays with your family and friends, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.